Wow. Oh. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Sal Cosentino. Your CEO. Protect, trainer. All right. And today's January 17th. Let's say 17, 26. Guys, we're about 2 weeks in to the brand new year. And we're gonna touch base on another topic in sales. And the reason why I like to talk about sales is because I like people to learn. I like to see people go out there and learn and gain experience and understand the ins and outs of what it takes to become um, a sales professional, right, or a sales warrior. And rookies, we you can have all the train. This might offend some people, and I don't care because sales isn't about offending people. Sales is about rising people up and over trying to prevent them through clarity instead of overcoming these objections. So when we talk about today, we're going to be talking about the objection before the objection, right? And what most reps hear as an objection is really the real issue, right? So by the time a prospect says, oh, it's too expensive, or B, we need to think about it, or now it's not the right time, the real objection already happened earlier in the conversation, right? That moment is sales. Um, what that really means is, the first objection is internal, right? So in the buyer's mind, I don't fully trust this yet, the buyer, right? I don't see a full impact, or I'm not convinced this is urgent. The spoken objection is just the symptom, right? And again, sales is overcoming objection, right? So remember, sales is preventing them through clarity. When I see rookies try to do the following, and they try to miss where rookies miss it, and the rookies try to either A, argue the price, defend the value, or push urgency late. Right? They treat these objections as a problem to fight. Um, you know, it's the mentality here. It's the win-win, right? Where professionals win. Remember something, as professionals, as sales warriors, together we're gonna create clarity early, right? We're gonna surface consequence, right? And that's especially before any resistance, right? And we're gonna obviously address risk before it's verbalized out there. And we have questions like, oh, what's this? What happens if it stays the same? Or how are you measuring the cost of delay? Or what made this priority now, right? So remember, sales warriors, if you're handling objections at the end, you miss something at the beginning, that something is sales, right? Just remember that, right? And I'm going to put that here for you guys. And that's a rule to remember, right? And I want you guys to understand that that's the rule to remember. And, right, make this in red. And let's bold it up. And let's bold it up, right? Remember this. It's a rule to remember, right? So handle the objection before the customer brings it up, right? And most salesmen, again, obviously wait till the end, and then then they panic, right? But the smart man addresses the concern early, and at his own terms, right? So here's a kind of a blueprint that I want to walk over with you guys. And you want to name the objection, right? Name the objection, right? So name the objection. Uh Explain it. Show how hard it's so show how hard so sorry, show how you solved it. Show how you solved it. All before they ask, right? And again, I don't care if this is, contextualized or if this is all about um, how I explain things, and this is how I explain things because, that's the way I explain things, right? Uh, let's put this over here, just a rule to remember. All right, so name the ejection, explain it, right? Show how hard you solved it, all before they ask, right? Asked. It disarms the doubt, right? And it shows confidence and stops the customers from turning it into a reason to walk away, right? You never want to walk away. You don't hide weaknesses, right? You fake control of them. You fake control them, right? Do this and you'll close deals. From women and men twice your age can't figure out these actually, let's just say these three, right? So if you do this, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to change it up because this is my course, my class. I'm able to do that. So do this. If you do this, these three, right, you will close deals. I promise you. Try it, right? And we're talking about men and women, right? Twice your age, still can't figure it out. Crazy, eh? So imagine that, right? You know, name the objection, explain it, show how you solved it, all before they ask, disarms doubt, right? You don't hide weaknesses, you fake control of them. If you do this, you will close deals. I can promise you that. When we talk about name it, explain it, solve it before they ask, you're anticipating the objection, right? And in that instance, you know, you're you're anticipating, right, the objection before it's actually even verbalized, right? So you're addressing it proactively in your conversation. You're showing them you understand their concern and you already have that solution ready, right? So if you example an objection, right, you could say, hey, I'm not sure this is worth the investment, and then you can respond even before they ask. I know it might feel like a big upfront cost. Here's why it's actually a return on investment positive decision in 90 days, right? So by naming and solving it first, you now disarm the doubt instantly, right? And that leads into step two, right? So early transparency, right? And that obviously it builds trust. right? If the buyer sees you expect the objections and handle them confidently, they'll stop doubting you, right? So remember, doubt obviously turns into being curious, right? And which turns into engagement. When you talk about control, right? Don't hide the weakness. You could say, hey, you don't pretend problems don't exist. You fake control them, right? And that's what that kind of means, right? You're fake controlling. You fake control them, right? So you don't pretend problems don't exist, right? You don't hide weaknesses. You do not fake control them. Acknowledge the risk, right? And show your plan to mitigate it, right? So this obviously creates um, credibility, right? So buyers will respect honesty paired to with competence, right? You know, if you do this, you'll close deals. I can guarantee you, right? Just anticipate the SARM control, right? You close more deals. Again, even seasoned competitors often, yeah, they do fail here, right? So you can out execute them at any age or even at any experience level, right? So, what I have for you is to pick an objection you hear most in your sales call, right? And leave your comments and answers in the chat, right? So, I want you to also how could you name it, explain it, and solve it before the buyer ever says it. And I want you to share a real example. Let's see who's mastering the objection before the objection, right? Um, Other than that, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. And I'll leave the questions below in the YouTube video channel. I want you guys to respond to these three questions for me, um, and share your resolution as a group or even as a challenge, right? And we'll go from there. Okay. Take care.